Hey guys, it's Abhay here. Welcome to Coders Project. So in this video, we're going to be discussing about the strings and math. So under the strings, I'm going to be covering what are strings and how do you create them, and then concatenation of strings, and then how do you combine number and strings? Is it possible or not? Then determining the string length, then accessing the strings, and then getting the strings from user input. So then I'll be taking up math, wherein I'll be showing you how do you perform some mathematical calculations using the cmath by including the cmath in your project, so and so on. So let's get started. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to be covering what are strings, string concatenation, number and strings, string length, access and string, user input strings, and omitting namespaces. And then cmath, C++ has many functions that allows you to perform mathematical tasks or numbers. So we're going to be including the cmath header and then doing some calculations today. So without wasting any time, I'll just start with the code. Okay, so I think this should be clear enough for you guys. Okay, let's get started. So a string variable contains a collection of characters surrounded by double quotes. So how do you create a string variable? You just need to type string and then your variable name. String1 equals hello. Uh, we forgot to add std over here. Okay, so let's print it out. Yeah, let's run it. Okay, so as you can see, hello is printed over here. So this is a string within double quotes over here. So to use the string, you must also include you can also include an additional header file into the code, which is the string library. So you just have to type include and then string. So this is just an extra feature. Well, it's not compulsory to use it, but you might take it in few of your projects if needed. And now let me show you what is string concatenation and how do you join or merge two strings. So this is string 1. Let me create a string 2. Equals hello world. Yeah. Now string 3. Let us combine string 2 and string 1. String 3 equals str1, and then we are using the plus operator. Str2. Now let's print string 3. So as you can see, it prints out hello world. So let me make some few changes over here and a space. So you can create a space between these two words by adding a space over here, or you can add a space over here. Like you just need to uh, add two double quotes over here and then one more plus operator. So this should do it. Yep, this also works fine. Now let me show you how do you use the append function. So a string in C++ is actually an object, so which contains functions that can be performed that can perform certain operations on strings. So for example, you can concatenate strings with the append function. So over here, we just have to type string1 dot append, and then in the brackets string2. Yeah, let's see what this block of code does. Yeah, so it's hello world again. So you can also use this append function. It is up to you whether you use the plus operator or append function. So the major difference between these two is that append function is much faster. However, for testing and search, it might be easier to use the plus function. So now let me show you what happens when you add numbers and strings together. Okay, let me take this as integer int, and then let me change this to int1 or index. Let me assign it 100. Okay, now let me try adding a number and string. So string 1 plus x. So this is going to give you an error. So it yeah, basically you just cannot add a string and number, but if you convert this to a string, then you can add it easily. So hello in 100, you can add a string and another string. You can also add a string and numbers between the double quotes, but you cannot add an integer to a string or any a float or double to a string. So now let me show you how do you determine the string length using the length function. Okay, so we have taken the string 1. Now let us use the cout function and let us determine the string length. The string length is, and then the string length is, and then we are going to be taking the length of string 1. So str1 dot length, and then just close it, open and close the brackets. So yeah, let's run this and check it out. Yeah, it's 5. So the length of the string is 5. You might see some C++ programs that use the size function also to get the length of the string. So this is just an alternative method, which is the length. It's completely up to you if you want to use the size or length. Let me show you size also. Both work similarly. It's up to you to select between these two and use it. So how do you access a string using the index number inside the square bracket? So to access a string inside square bracket using the index method, you just have to type cout and then your string name str1, and then open up the square brackets. We're going to take 0. So this is going to print out h. The index starts from 0. So 0 is the first character, and it moves on. If we print 1, it's going to give us e. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you how do you change the string characters. So to change the string character, you just have to type your string name str1, and then open up the square brackets and type the index number. um, I'll change the h to small letter h. So 0, which is index 0, equals h, and let me close this. Yeah, let us print it out. Make sure it is in between single quotations, not double quotations. So it prints out a small letter h, it changes it. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you how do you get the user input in form of strings. So for that, you just have to type cout. Let me add a line over here. So we get to know whether the program is working fine. See out, enter here, and then we are going to be using the scene function, and then let me define a variable x, or we can define a string over here. Okay, string x. So this is going to get the user input, and now let's print it out. You entered and the user input. Yeah, let's just execute this now. Okay, it says enter here. I'm going to be entering welcome to coders project. You entered welcome. So as you notice, it's not going to take the entire sentence, it's just going to take the first word. So to take the entire sentence, we have to use the getLine method. We just have to type getLine, and then in the brackets we have to type in the cin, and then your variable, which is x over here. So this should work fine. Yeah, this should work. What did we miss? Okay, should I take the std here? So now if you type the full sentence, it's going to take it. So welcome to coders project. You entered welcome to coders project. So this is how we use the getLine method to take multiple words as in the input. So now let's move on to the math. So C++ has many functions that allows you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers, which we have discussed. Like we have seen the operators wherein you can perform basic mathematical calculations. Now let me show you a few more of them. So we are going to be using the maximum and minimum function to find the highest value of x and y and the lowest value. So let me define integer x and then integer y. Okay, and now let's print it out. We're going to be using the max function over here, cout, and then max in the bracket. We're going to be typing let me define integer x as 10 and then integer y as 5. Yeah, so this should work. Or let me do it like this. Let me take it as x comma y, and over here let me add this as 10 and this as 5. Yeah. Uh-oh, what did you mean? Oh, std max. Yeah, so it prints out 10 because the maximum value is 10. So minimum, you just have to type an min, and then run it. So the minimum value is 5. Yeah, So now we are going to be using the cmath header. We're going to be including the cmath header file. So you just have to type include cmath and then close the brackets. So we're going to be including the cmath library over here. And now let us perform some operations like finding the square root, like rounding off the number, and then natural log. Well, yeah, I'll just show it to you. We'll see what and all operations are available. Okay, so directly without defining any variable over here, we're going to be using the cout function and print it. Uh, we won't be wasting much of time over here. So to find the square root of a number, you just have to type sqrt, and then in the brackets you have to type your number. Let me find the square root of 16. Yeah, and let's just execute this and check it out. So it's going to give us 4 over here. Yeah, this is how we use the square root function. You have many more methods and functions, like I'll show you a few of them. Rest all you can just try it out. I'll give you the list. So we're going to be seeing the round function. So this is going to just round off the value. If the decimal place is below 5, it's going to take 16. If it is after 5, it's going to take 17. Yeah, just a minute guys, there's some error. Okay, so it printed 16. Now if I take more than 5, it's going to print out 17. Okay, so this is how you use the round function. You can also use the log function. Log, let me take the value 2. So it's 0.693147. There are many more functions, math functions. I'll get the list on screen. You can take the screenshot or you can make a note of it, then try everything. So just a minute, I'll get the screen. Yeah, these are the other mathematical functions available under the cmath library. So just make a note of it and then try it out. I'll give you about 5 to 10 minutes. Like, yeah, or else just take a screenshot and then copy it down later. You can always reach out to me if you have any doubts, or if you need any video, any specific video, just comment on the comment section and then it will be done. Thank you guys for watching my video. Do subscribe my channel, like my videos. See you soon.